Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Planet Film Network. I am one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
I'm your other host, TJ Cornwell.
Boom. And tonight, we're going to be doing a couple things. We're going to be catching up on Skeleton Crew. We had another episode drop in that. We also have another episode of Creature Commandos to catch up on TJ's thoughts of GI Robot and if anything's changed. And then our main entree tonight is going to be going through a quick top 10-ish lists for what we are most anticipated for 2025. This is going to be movies only. Maybe we'll throw in a couple of TV shows to give a little chat to as well, because there's just so many of those. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in. We are also going to be and we lost TJ there. We did lose.
Sorry, I was playing around with the thing. My bad.
Oh no, you're good. We what was I saying? Oh yeah, we are also, of course, coming back live to you guys on Wednesday this week, Wednesday at 7:00. And as of right now, it is looking like Wednesdays at 7. It's going to be the new home of Planet Film Live. Just works better for both of our schedules. We get in and out a little bit earlier, as well as just the day of the week kind of syncs up better with both of our schedules. And then also tonight, we are going to be having you guys call in. Right now in the video description, I'm going to put in the video description is already the join link so that you can hop into the stream. I'm going to go ahead and put the join link in the chat as well. You should see that right now. Just remember, when you join in, to disable your camera so that you join in audio only. And we are really, if you guys want to talk about anything, movie or film or entertainment related, we will chat with you guys. But our main question tonight is, what is the one thing that you are most looking forward to or are most anticipated of for 2025? We also have a couple of stories that we're going to look at, really a couple of trailers, and then really one story, as well as some maybe little box office chatter. So other than that, TJ, if we could bring back something we didn't do last week, because I think last week we just really wanted to make sure we were good on time.
Caught up.
Yeah. Have you been watching anything cool this week? Doing anything?
Yeah, I
cool?
watched 3 things actually. One, a surprise that I told myself I wasn't going to watch, and I did. So I watched Conclave on Saturday. I think I was talking about it last week, and I was like, oh, I wish, I wish I didn't have to go to the theater. It might actually be, is it out of theaters yet? Do you guys still have it?
It is not out of theaters, but we don't have it anymore.
Okay, well, come to find out, it was streaming on Peacock, right? Yeah, I was shocked. I opened up Peacock, I was like, oh, there it is. So I watched it. It was good. A little slow. But I am a sucker for those kind of religious / something's happening in the church, challenging your faith kind of movie. And it's a big talk movie too. Not a lot of action going on, but
how did you feel about the, you don't have to spoil it, but just how did you feel about just the very end? Yeah. Do you feel so? I've heard a couple of people say that they just felt it didn't go with the rest of the movie, but I thought it did perfectly.
No, I thought it worked really well. I thought it was one of those things where everybody's kind of got this thing that they're trying to hide / work through.
Yeah.
And the person that is probably going through the hardest thing, it does not say a word. And it's just kind of there. There was a comment, I forget, it was on Reddit or something that I saw that explained that character really well, but I just can't remember. Oh, it's when I forget who plays the main sister.
Oh yeah, Mussolini. No, not Mussolini. Wait, not Mussolini. Isabella Rossellini.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Oh my god.
She has
what a plot twist that.
She has a few moments in the movie, but for the most part, she's kind of off to the side, and she kind of says that in the cafeteria, and how the character with like the big twist happens, like relates to her in that way, and how they're just kind of both usually they're both brushed aside in that way. I don't know. I forget what the exact words on how they were explaining it, but I was like, yeah, I could really see it that way. So I gave that one a 4 out of 5. Thought that one was really good. I watched Jingle All the Way again, which I think I liked it more the second time that I've seen it. I think last year we watched or at least I saw it for the first time, and I didn't like it as much. But this time around, I laughed more, I think. And then I watched what's it called? Carry On. Didn't think I was gonna watch that.
Whoa!
And you know what? I'll say right now, I was wrong about Jason Bateman. He could play a pretty good villain. Last week I was like, I see Jason Bateman villain. Don't really believe it. I take that. I know. Back. He was pretty.
The Outsider.
Yeah, give it a chance? Might watch that at some point. Was it actually good, or was it like
The Outsider?
Yeah, was it good? I don't know.
I was gushing about it last week on this very subject.
Might have missed that.
That show is insanely good. You got bro that we just talked about. Oh my God, Jason Bateman. I kept wanting to say Patrick Bateman, not the same guy. We got Jason Bateman, Cynthia Erivo, Ben Mendelsohn, bunch of people in that movie. So good. No, that is like that show is so good.
So what I'll say about it is it's a good movie. It's it's like the loosest Christmas movie you'll ever see. Barely a Christmas movie. It could take place whenever. It doesn't have to say any holiday. Okay. It doesn't matter. Christmas. It could be Thanksgiving. It could be, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll say it starts good. It starts really good. And I think it goes a little off the rails. Like we're a little like, he's turning into.
Would you say he's like James?
Like he's like Tom Cruise Mission Impossible at one point. Like he's doing something where he's driving around he's getting on the plane, driving around the tarmac, and he's on the plane while he's flying. It's a whole. It's like this is like Mission Impossible. I feel like I'm watching.
Or Tenet.
I haven't seen Tenet, so I couldn't compare it to that. But yeah, I liked it for the most part. I didn't rate it. I was just kind of thinking about it. I'm not really sure what I would give it, honestly, at this point. But I take what I said about Jason Bateman back. Play a pretty good villain. What's his name from Penguin was in it? I didn't really like him in it.
Theo Rossi.
Yeah, plays.
See, now you just ruined it for me because I don't.
Yeah,
I don't like that guy.
He plays. What does he play in Penguin? Dr. Rush, Julian Rush.
Of course. What you could? I didn't know what you were trying to
like Julian Rush. I didn't really like him in the show either.
Man, he's the legend, man.
Even in the Penguin, I was kind of like, I just felt like in the Penguin they were kind of shoehorning him in the show, like that character in general.
I was watching,
and in the movie he doesn't say much. Honestly, he doesn't have that many lines, and when he did speak, I was just kind of like,
Is he like a terrorist?
Yeah, he's like working with Jason Bateman.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was watching Penguin with my friend, and he was like, we were talking about how just something about it. It's not even just that it's bad. It's just like it just feels off. Something about that character and the performance to me just feels off. It was like, tell me why this is going to be the one guy who makes it over to the movie. Dr. Julian Rush. Dr. Rush. Oh, we're all gonna lose our mind.
Yeah, it was just I don't know.
It just felt like a little out of step with honestly the whole rest of the show. It is the only weak link in that entire show. Like the only
I would agree
one.
with that.
By the way, I have now finished watching that entire show
again
on my biggest screen available to me.
Nice.
And I will say it was something. It was beautiful. That stuff is cinema quality. Man, that show was so good. We will talk about Penguin shortly, but I would be remiss if I didn't say, which I wish I said at the top of the show. This past week, I had the opportunity to be on a different show to guest on one of their scornament tournament style shows for this show, Settle the Score, which is hosted by Andy Merriweather and Matt Nost, which is a musical game show. I was a guest on there, and that episode will be up later in the week. I've been told that I've been given permission I can clip myself out if I want to. And I can definitely talk about it. So their first holiday scornament will be up. I think they said next week. They said it'll be up well before Christmas. That's what they said. So we will link to that, and I will post to that and everything like that. And trust me, first of all, I didn't know that it was a holiday show until I joined the stream, and it said holiday scornament episode 1.
You're planting excuses, so that makes me think you didn't do very well.
I think you just have to watch, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it was my very first time, but I'm very excited for you guys to check it out. So we will link to that, like I said, when it comes out. That is Settle the Score on YouTube. It's not. There's a bunch of like rap music videos out there and stuff, and like video essays on rap. That's also called Settle the Score. It is not that. It is the one that looks like the Zoom show where it's all red and white.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll probably link to that. But it was super, super awesome being on that show, and I really, really appreciated getting asked to do it. So yeah, excited about that, and excited to potentially go back in the future. So let's go on here. Let's get 2 of these stories out of the way, and then maybe we'll take our first call, which looks like we already have someone backstage waiting. I hope we're going to talk about a certain musical that just got a title. And we're out of here. Tell me about this. TJ, tell me about what's going on here with Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan, artificial intelligence? Question mark?
I don't know. I can't see the screen.
Let's see.
So
here.
you're gonna have to tell me.
There we go.
Yeah, so this was like, it was just kind of like it was in the Puck News newsletter from Matt Bellany. So Netflix used an AI generated Christopher Nolan voice to announce accomplishments for their film division at their holiday party this year. This is just like one of the most wildest kind of things you can read. I feel like in the past few months, obviously the big conversation with AI and artists and looping this in as well. I had found out today, listening to the Town podcast, about this commercial I don't know if you've seen this, with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. And
I've heard of it. I didn't see it.
I just saw it on TikTok like 15 minutes ago. It's pretty crazy. Like, it looks like really real. Like, it's shocking how good it looked.
Are they involved in it, or is this something that happened like without their knowledge?
So the estates like signed off on it. They had to have. So it was Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra like appeared in the commercial with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and they're like drinking gin. They're like drinking gin together, having a conversation.
I just want to say real quick to the 10 people watching right now, shout out. I want everybody to hop in the chat right now. There is a link so that you yourself can call into this show and talk about whatever you're most excited for in 2025. Click that link. We will talk to all of you guys. You don't get stories like this about Sammy Davis Jr.'s estate for nothing.
Yeah, and so I guess the estates like signed off on it. Of course,
yeah,
that's what they said in the podcast when I was listening to it today. Because he was talking to a guy that deals with like with people that have passed on, like celebrities and people like with historical significance and how their likeness is used and all that stuff. And
I've been pimping this show to him for a year, and he listens to the most intriguing sounding episode before me.
Yeah, and it was really interesting, but it was just crazy to see
making on dead celebrities in the AI age.
Yeah, and obviously this is like another thing where it's like it's obviously more in a private setting, I guess, where it was like this. It was like a Netflix party, I guess, that this was used, but it's still like the most ridiculous. Like, was he just trying to be funny doing? Because it was Dan Lin who I think did it. Like, who
it was Dan Lin that did it.
That's what it's saying. Lin caused controversy recently for using an AI generated voice by Christopher Nolan, who's known for refusing to work with Netflix, to narrate a video celebrating the division's achievements. Yeah, so it's just like,
wow,
I don't know. It's just like one of the most wildest things.
Yeah, you're the new guy on the block, and you're gonna AI Christopher Nolan.
Like, can he sue them for that? I would.
Depends on if there's. I would say if there's like a recording of it that got out and it's saying something that which anything really can be, if something can be construed, you know what I mean? Then I think you would have a case.
Right. And I was trying to find it, like, and I couldn't find it on like a THR or like a Variety or anything. So it was more like a report or like something I've heard that he
Yeah.
was saying, but still, like, if this is, true, like it's just crazy. It's weird, crazy and
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. I just don't, it's just so like, I just feel like there's such an air of like people thinking that they can just like get away with like the most random but like craziest stuff. Like it just
Mhm.
makes no sense to me that people think that like this won't get back to people or that it's just like funny. Like, and I get
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it was a private party for our it was like an internal joke or whatever you want to say. It's like, but it's just not funny. Like it's just I don't get that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I wish that companies would just stay away from this stuff in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's one thing if we did, I don't know, if viewership skyrockets over these next few weeks and we start introducing, little fun bits and stuff, and we did like, what does Chris Nolan think on this movie? And like we did something like that, like
Yeah.
as a joke. That's one thing. Being Dan Lin at Netflix at like a big, like, not an earnings call, but a big like earnings party to like celebrate the milestones and stuff. It just feels like icky. I don't know. Especially because it's like they picked Christopher Nolan, who's like a very, staunch anti Netflix person. So yeah, I don't know. Just not a good look. Not a good look, I don't think. Anything else on Chris Nolan?
He's a sir now. Him and his wife
Oh,
Emma
Sir Chris.
Thomas.
Yeah, that's
They've
right.
been knighted.
Sir Emma Thomas and Sir Christopher Nolan. Oh, I saw Ryan Reynolds is getting I don't know if it's Sir, maybe it's something else. I don't know, but he's getting the highest honor a Canadian can get.
Mm.
He's being bestowed with the like whatever first rank, uh, something of Canada, honor of Canada
Mm.
or order of Canada. That's what it is. Very, very interesting. All right, TJ. Next up, what are your thoughts on this? We got our
Okay.
first look at Jackie Chan, Ben Chang, and Ralph Macchio in Karate Kid's Legends.
So
Coming out May
this
2020.
this was a question for you that I had. I have
Okay.
no connection to Karate Kid whatsoever. I saw the one with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan, so I guess
Mhm.
I have some connection, but I know technically that's not canon, right?
Yeah.
Um,
No, it is
and
now.
it
Now it
is
is.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, nevertheless, and I've seen clips of Cobra Kai. Never watched the show. I know you've seen at least maybe the first 2 seasons,
Yeah,
give or
the first
take, right?
3 seasons, that's all.
One was the show, and the clips I've seen are usually the most ridiculous lines I've ever heard on a show. So I need to know if some of the lines that are said in that show are the most ridiculous things ever said in a show. And then is this a movie you're looking forward to? And is it something we need? Because it seems kind of like we're really holding on to the whole Karate Kid thing. And it's like, do people really care? Those are
Something
my
that
3
we
questions
need.
for you.
I don't know if I would say that it's something that we need, but I mean, I watched the trailer and I thought that it was interesting.
Mhm.
But again, it's like I get that it was not going to have anything to do with Cobra Kai, and they're not even going to reference it and stuff. But then they were like, oh no, we're gonna actually they like changed some stuff around and they let them finish out their whole run and like didn't want to step on Cobra Kai's toes and stuff like that. But then and they like publicly said that they were like, no, we want to actually circle back on some of that stuff and change our mind on that and reassess. I didn't see any connection to Cobra Kai at all in the trailers. They
Oh,
they didn't even reference Daniel's family or anything like his daughter or his all the people he cares about. It just felt weird that it's like because he's not in like the surroundings that now I'm like used to him being in Cobra Kai, it's like it almost feels like it's a different character either way. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it's just like another crack at this versus like a new chapter. You know what I mean? It feels like almost a fresh, completely take on it, which is just feels so weird being butted right up against like a very successful, very beloved, good take on it right now that's currently airing. So that was kind of my take on it. And then the trailer overall, I thought it was fine. I thought it could have been a little more like amped up, a little more high energy and stuff. But I get it. They want to do, they want to honor the Miyagi legacy and, have that like somberness and like calmness to it. But I think it's fine either way. I mean,
I'm kind of surprised it's getting a theatrical. It seems not theatrical necessary. Like it doesn't need to go to theaters only. Like if you told me like Netflix was putting this together and releasing it, I'd be like, yep, it makes sense.
See, that's the thing though, is I don't know what's going on with my light. That's the thing though, is it's hard because it's Sony, right? So Sony doesn't have their own streaming service, so it would have to be with somebody like a Netflix. But I don't think Sony would do that. So I think you're right. I think that this project, if it was studioless, I think it would merit a streaming release. But I think because specifically it's Sony, I just think there's at least a chance of some amount of hitting and some amount of being a success. And I feel like Sony needs to kind of soak all that up that they can right now, in my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and move on here, and we are going to go to our first call of the night. Again, we have 10 people watching us right now. We're about to bring in our first call of the night, but it will not be our last. So go ahead and call in. You can keep watching the show. We see your name right down there, and we'll pull you up whenever we are ready to take a call. So give us a call. The link is in the chat right now. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in our first guest of this episode to maybe tell us about what they're most looking forward to next year. And that is our good friend, my good friend, your something else, Danielle. Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yep, I gave you twice in the other room and here.
Oh, wow. Big fan, long time listener, first time caller. Very excited to be here. As Sean hinted before, I guess the thing I'm looking the most forward to in 2025 would be, Wicked Part 2.
Wicked Part
big
2.
Fan of the musical. It's one of my favorite musicals.
I think you mean Wicked for Good.
For Good. Yeah, I'm personally not huge on the title. It's whatever. I kind of think it should have been called like Act 1, Act 2, because it's, that's what it is at the stage show.
Yeah.
It's the second professional show that I've ever seen, like musical wise. So I have a very strong connection to Wicked. Loved the first one. Really looking forward to the second. I'm really glad that they filmed them like back to back.
Yeah.
And that they did the live singing on set. Really looking forward to that. For TV, I'm really looking forward to Yellow Jackets season 3. Sean, I don't know if you watched that at all. I know TJ hasn't.
I have not. I watched like the pilot of it, but it's one of the Paramount Plus is increasingly the show, and Apple are the streaming services that I'm just so far behind on. It's like, I don't know, it might be becoming like a lost cause.
So we don't have it on streaming at all. We ended up getting the first 2 seasons from the library.
Oh wow.
And I was able to watch them very quickly. I try not to watch shows anymore that are like still airing because I don't like this. Now I have to wait until February to see the new season. But I just couldn't help myself with this show, and it's like, I don't know. For me, it's very much I couldn't stop watching. So
that's what
very much looking forward to the new season.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I have heard nothing but great stuff about that show. And then obviously, what's her name? Ella Purnell coming out of there. Melanie Linsky too, just like people that, you know, the amount that show has like restarted careers, jump started careers, just like been a really cool thing for actors to be in, or like brand new people that we've gotten from there. Definitely makes me want to go back and watch it. And it is definitely one of those shows that is on the list of like, at some point I need to sit down and watch that whole show. And so I am definitely excited too. I'm happy that it keeps going. You know, is this the last season or is there going to be more after this?
I have no idea, honestly. I know that they filmed like a bonus episode too that they were originally, I think, going to release before the third season, and now they're saying that they're going to wait until afterwards or something.
Oh.
But so it goes between like the past and the present, as I'm sure people who know anything about it know. And they haven't been rescued yet in the past. So I know that in the 90s, they're there for like 18 months, and their season 2 was really the winter months. So I can see it having definitely at least another season. Just because according to the timeline, it seems like we've only really seen 6 months out of, you know, their survival.
Yeah. Wow. That's very exciting. I wish that is one of those shows. Not only do I want to watch it, it's just one of those shows that I hate that I fell off of it, because it's like now it does just feel like it's so much to get caught back up on, but I really, really want to go back and check it out. But yeah, I am right there with you with Wicked as well. I mean, Wicked is, it's like it is just fast becoming. I'm not going to spoil our top 10 list that we'll be talking about. I should say our top 10 of 2024 lists. I won't spoil that. We'll be talking about when that episode is coming in a little bit here later on. But the first movie is just jumping up my list like so far mentally in my head all the time that I am just so excited for part 2.
Speaking of just Wicked for good, do you have any what does that mean for you? Does that mean something, Sean? Based on obviously how the first one ended.
Yeah, well, you know that I don't know anything.
Right.
I don't want to know anything. Yep. But I do know, I believe, and I'm sure Danielle is screaming right now, I believe that is the title of a song in the second part. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
A meaningful lyric, maybe.
It's a song title.
Okay. Yeah. I'm assuming it's really going to hit hard a year from now. Yeah.
Yeah, very exciting. I think there are a couple casting choices maybe I'm not the fan of, but as far as the 2 main characters, I think they casted very well. I like that they're going with people with theater backgrounds and not
Can I ask who are you unhappy with cast-wise in the first part?
I don't know. I don't want to get hate. I think
you're actually if you want to. Oh, okay. I was gonna say if you want to,
I think Madame Marble could have been casted a little better, personally.
Yeah.
Just on the singing standpoint, nothing against, I think she's a great actress, but as far as that character, she wasn't doing anything for me. And also I feel like for me personally, it's hard to see Jeff Goldblum not just as Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't know, but as far as the main, I think Ariana Grande and Cynthia both did a very good job.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to bring up or anything you want to ask or talk about before we let you go?
No, Carry On was good. I liked Carry On.
I gotta watch it. Maybe we'll watch that. Honestly, I might watch that tonight. How long is it?
It's an hour 59. So 2.
God, jeez, you said it's an hour. Okay, 59. Man, talking about a journey. Jeez. Yeah, 2 hours. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in and telling us what you're looking forward to and everything like that. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. All right. So, actually, really quick question I do have, and I just scrolled past it on IMDb, and this is why it came to my head. And it's not coming out in 2025, but it is coming out fairly soon. And I just want to get your hype level and everybody else's hype level. Squid Game season 2. Where are we at on that? Are we like
Oh
excited? Are
man,
we? I'm just kind of. I'm
buddy,
kind of meh. I'm like
buddy.
I.
Let me tell you, we came back last week.
Mhm.
The entire week previous to that, this house has been Squid Game Nation.
That's
I
crazy.
finally watched. You remember, I think I went on a mini rant when they announced it. I was not happy that they were doing a game show version of it.
Right. Yep.
I thought that was just like, you're missing the whole point. You're blah, blah, blah. And then for a year, all I heard was, it's good. It's good. No, it's really good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? What are you telling me? We finally took the dive into it about 2 weeks ago. We just watched the whole thing in like a week and a half, and it's 10 like hour and 5-minute episodes. Like it is long, but man, it is so good, and it has gotten our hype level so up. We also just rewatched Squid Game like just a year ago, during last Christmas actually. So honestly, for me, I'm hyped, and I'm really excited. You see in the trailer that there's a lot more like activities going on in the like bunk bed room. And that's actually, I don't know when they came up with the idea. Maybe they had already had season 2 written, but in the game show, a big part of it is the games, yes, but then there's also these tests that they do. So it's like they'll put 2 people in a room, and then they'll be like, "Oh, guess what? You guys are actually gonna, play, Pokemon to the death or something." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I think they're gonna introduce these tests that they do in the game show into the actual show, which I think will be really, really interesting. So that was cool to see. And then I also just like this from a story standpoint. You go, really? It's like, how many times have we seen we're gonna take the fight to them? Like, how is that gonna work with Squid Game? And it looks like they're really doing interesting stuff with it, with the whole like everybody turning on 4, 5, 6 being like, well, how do we know that you're not part of this?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, I'm not going to trust you. What the hell? You just want to get us out and save yourself. Like, it's going to make him a target. Like, this guy's screaming at everybody. Like, let's just get him out of here. So I do think I'm actually like really, really excited for this.
Yeah.
And I just hope that it's as good as the first season was.
Maybe I need to rewatch first. I just remember first season being a tad underwhelmed, and maybe it was because I was a little late.
Yeah.
And so it was like that. The hype for that show was unreal. And then I watched it, and I was like, yeah, that was good. Like, I didn't think it was like groundbreaking or anything.
Yeah.
But maybe a rewatch will do me some good.
Yeah, I think it deserves it. I think it deserves it. And I will say this, if it's like a show that because again, the main show is like 10 episodes and they're all like an hour long. Like, I think if you just need more of a refresher and you do like, the first couple episodes, like then the last couple episodes, I think that'll be just as worth it too.
Yeah.
Just to like throw yourself back in that world, because it really is just like a truly insane show. I will never forget. I mean, obviously so much of that show hooks you from the beginning, but the thing that I really went, whoa, to quote David Zaslav, the thing that made it lean in entertainment was when they left spoiler alert for season 1 of Squid Game, when they left the island for the first time. I was like, wait, what? It's just, and it was like the end of episode 2, and you're like, this is not where I thought this show was going. I'm trying to backtrack and keep it as spoiler light as I can, but it's just that twist in like episode 2 of like, this is not this, this story, it's not going to go the way you think. I think that is really what just catapulted it for me, and then everything since then was really, really good, in my opinion. All right, where do you want to go next? I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to talk about our last story here / the video thing, Ema Bob? Do you want to talk about a show, or do you want to go to a call? Look at all these choices that we have.
Let's do the story real quick.
All right. We are
not really a story. It's more just the teaser trailer for the trailer that will come out tomorrow for Superman. Quick before we get to that, just speaking to, and I don't think we talked. The poster came out this week, right? No,
2 days
Monday.
ago.
So I know we kind of discussed it, but just to say it on here, I thought the poster was really cool. Thought all the coloring on it was awesome. And I think like the tagline, like look up or whatever it says, I thought that was great. So I'm hoping, that gives me the first vote of confidence for this movie. And hopefully it is good.
Yeah. I really, really hope that it is good. When they put out I saw the poster, and then I saw the motion poster, and then I clicked the motion poster and heard the music.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to spend like 10 minutes harping on it. I'm just like, I'm in. Like, I am in for this movie 100%. I love what we're about to look at. I love James Gunn's little message today. I don't know if you saw that. Looks like we're out. I liked James Gunn's little message today that was like, I can't even remember what it was, but he put a message on it that was basically like, hey, we made this movie, for you guys. We're really excited, but until tomorrow, here's this. And it just feels like we are entering this era with DC where it's like, it truly feels like there's just so much possibility right now. It is like the excitement is like palpable. That's what I think it comes down to. Is it just feels like there's so much room to grow and places to go that I'm just so excited for it. And I think that this being the first thing out of the gate is just such a smart decision, and really, really pumped to see basically how it turns out and where everything goes from here. And Supergirl after this, Lanterns after that, Peacemaker. Like, I'm just excited to get this ball rolling. So speaking of, let's go ahead and jump right on here, and hopefully you guys can hear all of this. Hey, what the hey? Let's go ahead and do one of these for old time's sake. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. Welcome back, everybody, to the Planet Film Network. We are doing a little bit of an impromptu reaction here on our new setup. If this is your first video joining the channel, go ahead and just click subscribe down below before I finish this sentence. After that, we do live streams every single Wednesday night where you can call in and talk about our main topic with us live on air. We really appreciate it if you guys would stop by and take a look at that. Take a look at all the videos on the channel. That being said, we are here to take a look at the teaser for Superman coming out July 11th of 2025. Let's go ahead and take a look.
From James Gunn.
I do love that man. The cape-mounted camera. Come on. Look up. I love that tagline. By the way, this is definitely the sequel trilogy font, right? There you go. Teaser trailer online tomorrow.
I'm going to say this right now.
Hit it.
You're going to hit me. You're going to hate me.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I agree. There was some discourse online earlier about the coloring. I think it looks really good. I like the colors that are popping more. It's not dark, like a lot of, I feel like superhero movies have been. But I'm going to say this. Does it feel a little CW-ish?
I will say this, and this is big excusing territory. I think that a lot of this
is only
stuff,
15 seconds, basically.
Well, it's only 15 seconds, but also, like, I think a lot of this stuff is just a very, very, very precise. Did you just do that? Man,
yeah, you were flipping through it.
I know, that's so crazy that it's just like it's weird. Our new program, TJ can control it just as much as I can. And I saw it in the corner of my eye flip over. Like something like this. I was talking to my friend and I was like, most likely this is like maybe like a second unit shot. So maybe this stuff does like feel off, or maybe not with the rest of the movie. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, I think we can look at this and be like, oh, maybe that's not the best, but like the conference room scene with 12 extras is probably not where they're putting the majority of the focus.
Yeah.
In a, you know, giant Superman movie featuring a bunch of Superman or superheroes. Michelle said, yeah, there you go, right there. Michelle said, I did agree. I thought about CW when I saw this teaser for the teaser. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely there. I see what you're talking about, even in
I think that's just nitpicking too. It's like,
yeah,
you're trying to glean something from literally 15 seconds of
but
footage.
it also is, it's got a very precise, very saturated color to it, and color grading to it, and a very harsh, like, bright daylight. And like I said, I think it might just be them going for like you know, a certain look, but also then there's a video like this right here. I mean, that is straight up meant to look like it's recorded on somebody's phone. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like intentionally supposed to be like that. So I think I'm taking all these shots of like these civilians on the ground with a grain of salt, because I'm like, I feel like some of this is meant to be like on the ground footage. But I will say it looks a little slick. And I, you know, if that is a problem with the movie, that'd be a damn shame if the big drawback to this was the visual, because James Gunn has always been such a strong visual director. But man, this right here,
those shots look really good. The behind him flying, I think that looks really cool.
Like I said, man, the cape, not sleep timer. What am I doing? I want the playback speed. Yeah, these shots where it's him from behind with the cape, and James Gunn has talked about that. He took massive inspiration from Top Gun Maverick, and how they filmed the jets, you know, kind of like slaloming or whatever you want to say between, you know, how they actually move through the air, that he wanted Superman to look that way and to feel that way. Also, just take note, look at how freaking wide this guy looks. This guy's huge.
He's a unit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just crazy. The fact that we got a fraction of a second, and I love that his hair is like flowing and like bouncing in the wind. That is fantastic. And then the absolute money shot at the end of the that is the Star Wars font, right? Like, I'm not just losing my mind on that.
As in the Star Wars font, as in what? Like
this Christmas of the sequel trilogy.
Oh,
like the big white lettering that they would use.
Yeah, I'd have to see it.
It just looks so and you even have the Starfield, because it's like although maybe this look is a little yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Maybe this is the kind of look and feel and tone of Krypton. You know, of it, because I'm
like
Starfield
icy,
and stuff.
like
yeah, it's kind of like icy, maybe like a very stark like blue, like blue crystals and stuff. Like, maybe I think the Fortress of Solitude will look a little more like this kind of hue to this color than like a pure white. But man, this shot here, and sorry we're going so slow and frame by frame on this, but man, that just looks so perfect. Boom. I love it.
God
is that
literally flying into the beacon of light that is piercing through the clouds.
Is that you? Yeah, that's fantastic. I am very, very pumped. I'm very pumped to see the full trailer tomorrow. Super excited for that. But until then, let us know, what do you think of the trailer? Thank you guys for joining us for this little video and little scene by scene breakdown and trailer reaction. So thanks for joining us for this video. We will catch you in the next one. Boom. All right. We just had to do that for making the video for later, so I appreciate it. But guys, let us know. We got 8 people watching us right now. Go ahead, jump on the link, give us a call. We are going to jump over to our next call, which is actually, caller, can you give me a little microphone signal that you are ready to join? I should have checked. Looks like you are muted. Okay, good to go. All right, we are going to bring in our next caller, who is Shelly, who called in last week. Very excited to have you back on the show. Shelley, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. I guess my answer to the question is similar to last week's question, where I'm sort of pushing Wicked aside because it's sort of the ultimate, to wait for. So I don't think a lot of people have talked lately about Captain America Brave New World.
Mhm.
And it's like, I mean, maybe because right now everybody is talking about Superman because of tomorrow's teaser and all that, but I've been really looking forward to it. And when they gave us the look of, Red Hulk, it really got me excited to do it. The whole thing about, the obvious change in casting, and I just think it's going to be great with Harrison Ford. And just to sort of get back into the MCU stuff on the big screen, because I was not looking forward to even taking the publicity stuff away from what happened with the whole Kang Dynasty thing, but I wasn't looking forward to that anyway. When I saw him in Loki, I didn't feel that he had any kind of magnetism or whatever to feel like he was going to be a really big bad coming up in the future. So I am so glad that for whatever reason that has been scrapped, and I feel like this movie is going to sort of start things back up again, and I'm hoping that it's got a new flavor to it and everything, but also has a better consistency of what the older movies were, and some of these that didn't go well, that people aren't thinking about that, and that they can feel like they're back in the whole MCU seat, in the theater, where you're looking forward to the next one and the next one, for 10 years or whatever it's going to be. But I just feel like this one is going to kick things off and get back on track. So I'm really looking forward to that the most.
Yeah, I think just like speaking of that, as far as getting people back into the theater to be excited about an MCU movie, this will hopefully be the first time that they maybe have 2 wins in a row in a long time. So I'm just like looking at the list of movies that have come out over the years.
Yeah.
And I would probably say like the last like win they had was might have been Endgame and Far From Home. Would you count that was a win, right? People really like that movie, I would say.
Oh, Far From Home was amazing. Yeah.
So I would probably say Endgame and Far From Home was probably
There's
like
been
the
nothing
last.
since then, you don't think?
Not back to back that have been like boom boom, really really good. Like
I believe
Widow.
you. I just don't want it to be true.
Black Widow was, people were like kind of mixed on that. Shang-Chi, a lot of people liked, but then Eternals, people were like meh. And then we got No Way Home. A lot of people liked that. And then we got Doctor Strange, which was, I really liked that movie, but obviously like Sean, you were mixed on it.
Mixed martial arts.
Yeah, and then we had Love and Thunder, we had Wakanda Forever, Quantumania, Guardians 3, Marvels, and then Deadpool Wolverine. So not really like a strong, 2-3 in a row where it's like, oh, we're hitting, like they used to. So I think this is their first chance with Captain America to get back to that. And hopefully they do. I feel like it's kind of up in the air right now if that movie's going to be good or not, as far as like having reshoots and all that other stuff.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, Guardians was amazing. That Guardians 3. I mean, what a way to go out on that one.
Right.
And, things like that. Of course,
and then that's immediately followed by Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Marvels.
Hey, the Marvels wasn't that bad. I just felt like there was one part that wasn't necessary, which was the whole dancing thing. But other than that, I thought the 3 women were really good.
I don't even think it's bad. It's just, it's a stumbling block. It was definitely not a success for Marvel Studios. I would say it was not a good get the ball rolling type of thing.
Yeah, but I also feel though like some of the announcements, like I'm fine with RDJ playing Doctor Doom, but I am not looking forward to the idea of either Cap or Steve Rogers coming back, whatever he's going to play. He can't. I don't think he can play Johnny in this because it's we've got Fantastic Four coming up and he's not going to be Johnny. So it's like, why play with that? It was one thing.
Well, I think there's another reason that he can't be Johnny.
Yeah, right. That too. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't want it to turn into like this habit of everybody loved the original Avengers, so we have to throw one in here once in a while. I just hope that's not the ideal. Like they have to appease us. They have to make their films and do it with hopefully some comic book integrity, with it and everything. And of course, Deadpool and Wolverine was amazing, but you don't think of it as connected to that like storyline thing they like to do, like just the whole Thanos thing. Then luckily Kang died or something. I have to deal with him. But I mean, whatever this next sort of stretch is supposed to be, and as far as the movies coming forward. But I just don't want it to turn into we have to have one of the originals all the time or people aren't going to watch kind of attitude. I hope that's not what they're trying to do by bringing Chris Evans back. I didn't mind it when RDJ was announced as Dr. Doom because I could totally see that. Because I think if they were going to play around with him in not a great way, they would have found a way to bring him back as Tony. And I'm glad they didn't do it that way. But, I'm just hoping that the new movies have the kind of punch that the originals did, but not feeling they have to bring back people to try and get across the finish line with them because they've had a few that didn't go off very well, in between. So, I'm just, like I said, I'm so glad the Kang thing isn't happening. And I almost feel bad that it was even part of Loki, except it just, I don't know.
How did you feel about Kang in Ant-Man?
Well, I felt like they put a lot of that film around him because you know what I mean.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I would say so.
But I'm thinking that it was okay because I think of Ant-Man as a real sort of standalone. Yes, he's part of the Avengers and all that, but because he's not like an original five type. You can almost do anything with that. So you don't need a whole Kang Dynasty string of TV shows and movies. He was okay as like the villain in that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just felt like it was almost a story between him and I can't think of her name, Michelle Pfeiffer's character.
Yeah.
So it was, if she hadn't been part of it, you would have wondered like, what was that? And now we're going nowhere with it. But because it was linked to her, I feel like it's a pass. We could deal with that. He was in that, kind of thing. But it didn't really hook him necessarily to everything else now that that's gone. So that's at least how I feel about it. So, but I'm looking forward to all of them and, that are coming up. And I'm looking forward to this, to Brave New World, see what it's going to be all about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably no surprise we're going to be talking about Captain America 4 in a little bit here. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, definitely, a good one that's I won't say, obviously, I don't think any big Marvel movie like that could be under the radar, but I just think a lot of people are just looking over it. And I think that movie deserves the benefit of the doubt in a way that the Craven team desperately wanted for that movie.
Yeah. And I just think that I really think the Harrison Ford part of it is going to bring people in because they're going to be really interested in what he is going to do with that character, not being originally his and all that. But it's going to be interesting, especially, it's not like he's just playing that character. Then he's got the Red Hulk to do too. And I just want to see how he does things. Like Mark Ruffalo did the whole dual thing, you know what I mean? It'd be interesting to see how that all plays out, in something like this and where it goes forward. Red Hulk's going to have more to do later. We'll see where he ends up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my thing. I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for calling in. TJ, was there anything you wanted to bring up on anything?
No, that was it. I'm good.
Yeah, thank you for calling in again. We really appreciate it. And yeah, join us back next time we're doing call-ins for that topic. Always great to hear from you on the show.
Okay, thanks. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Boom. All right. So let's talk about some of these TV shows. Let's talk about some of these TV shows real quick. Real quick thoughts. I want to get your thoughts because actually, do we miss it? What time does Creature Commandos come out? Is it 8 or 9? Okay. So yeah. So no Creature Commandos episode 4 talk, but all the way a week ago when we were live, we were live during episode 4 coming out. So TJ, did you watch episode 3? I'm getting all these numbers mixed up. TJ, did you watch episode 3 of Creature Commandos? And what did you think? And have your thoughts changed on GI Robot?
Yes, my thoughts have changed. I thought it was a really strong episode. I take back my comments on the Tin Man, as he's called, in this episode. That was really good. Nice to see a little backstory on GI Robot, as you said. And I get the whole Nazi. Like, again, it's not that I didn't get it. It was just like I felt like he just kept saying it, and it was getting on my nerves, especially like the first episode in. It was like literally the first episode. But no, really enjoyed it. I really liked the whole idea of him kind of, coming back. I thought that was cool too, to see like he was with Easy Company, which is what the show Band of Brothers. That's who they're following throughout that show. Is that Easy Company?
Oh, really?
Group. Yeah. But to see that he was like kind of decommissioned and where he ended up in this comic book store, and then this guy takes him home and cleans him up and all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh, my life's gonna be great," and then he walks into this white supremacist meeting and he goes, "I was waiting for him to do like the Nazis. I hate Nazis," and just how that ends up, where he's just like shooting them all and doing it was really fun it was a fun time to watch, I will say. But I that ending got me scared.
Do we want to get into spoilers?
Yeah, I mean, the ending happened and he was blown up, and I was like, "Oh my god, is he gone? I hope not."
Yeah,
I was starting to like him.
I am gonna guess. First of all, I echo literally everything. I think I just turned my voice down a little bit there. First of all, I echo everything that you just said. I obviously I didn't have the bigger issues with GI Robot that you had, but I was like, oh, is he gonna say this again? And I actually will say about the next show we're talking about, I had a similar issue. But we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, by the end, you're like, damn, cheers to the Tin Man. Like, what's going on? I think it will be by the finale, he'll be rebuilt. I think it'll be one of those, like, we're going to go a while without him, but it's like, well, we could rebuild him, but we don't have the time and we don't have the technology right now. It's going to be something like that. Yeah. Tony, I am limited by the technology of my time. It's going to be a Howard Stark, with which, by the way, there's a little Howard Stark in this episode. It was a little like unveiling this military drone asset thing, with these bright, spangly Walt Disney style, delivery, that, America and, and other countries, but America was famous for in the 30s, 40s, and 50s of, selling all this stuff, these like merchants of death, these, no pun intended, these war machines, in the brightest way possible. And I liked that it was like the incredible autonomous man, as opposed to like, we designed a robot man to kill people. You know what I mean? So I really like that. And I really liked the following him up through time to kind of get caught back up. I don't know about you, but I certainly teared up at a basically 3-second shot of a robot rusting in place when he was in prison, and for something that he did, but that was arguably, and I liked that argument too. It's like, I'm sorry, I'll say it because those people exist in this part of the world. He's like, what the hell? You built me to kill Nazis. I killed some Nazis. You just didn't like where they lived. and now I'm in prison. And it's like, yeah, I mean, what changed? You know, it's like it's a very interesting, I think, social and political commentary looped in with this, like kind of layered. Talk about like messaging works, you know, if it's not hitting you over the head. That messaging is like 8 layers down in the dip. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, is he like making a comment about, you know, Nazism in the modern day? Like, and it's like, yeah, he kind of is actually. And I thought it was very effective, and I thought that the end was super effective too when we think we might have lost him. But yeah, I'm really excited for episode 4. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but pretty famously, they've said that this is like it seems everybody's getting their own episode, and 4 is supposed to be Weasels. So they say that 4 is just like incredible. So really excited for that. But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts on Creature Commandos down below. Yeah, really excited to hear what you have to say. All right, next up here, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about a show called Star Wars Skeleton Crew. So Star Wars Skeleton Crew put out its 4th episode out of its 8-episode run. So we're just about halfway through last night. TJ, I will cut over to you first here, buddy. What were your overall thoughts on episode 4 of Skeleton Crew? How are you liking this show so far? And what do you think overall of this episode in the show so far?
So far, I thought, I'll talk about the episode first, and I'll talk about the show as a whole. I thought the episode was pretty good. They seem to be getting shorter and shorter, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I liked how we kind of stumble upon this new planet. Obviously, this planet was a part of kind of the group of planets they were talking about in the previous episode. Mm-hmm. I thought getting to see some kids on a different planet and how they're treated and all that stuff was really cool. Obviously, there's a kind of war going on between like 2 factions, it seems like. Although we don't really know what happened to this planet, as far as I can tell, unless they said and I missed it, like prior to them landing on it.
No, they didn't. Yeah.
Right. And seeing Neil, and I forget the girl's name, that is Hannah. Is that her name?
Yeah, Hannah.
Kind of their interaction throughout the episode was really nice. And I thought it was kind of cool how they're both telling each other about how their planets work, and how Neil is like, oh, we don't have to worry about anything. We, there's food to eat and all that stuff. We don't have to hunt, there's no fighting and stuff like that. But it was kind of like this weird thing when they're talking back and forth. I'm like, it's almost like she might have it better on this planet, because again, on his planet, you just get that vibe of like Big Brother, like dictatorship / everything is fine. Don't worry about, you know what I mean? And it's almost like in his head, he's like, he's been fed this his entire life, and he's 12 or something, his character. Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, everything's fine. No, don't have to worry about anything. But it's like, but there's no free will. It's like you're just going through the motion, going through school, and you're gonna go work for what's it called again? The great goal.
The great work.
The great work. And you're not gonna question anything. You're gonna live your life, and then that's it. And there's nothing more to that, which I just thought was interesting. Like, whereas her planet, it's like, we have to do all this stuff, and hey, it's not perfect all the time, but hey, at least we're deciding what we're going to go do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you watch all the season of Doctor Who this year?
No.
Okay. There's actually a really good, episode that is kind of like, reminds me of At Atten, where it's like just all these people in these little bubbles. It's like a VR bubble, basically. Everybody's walking around in a VR bubble, but without the glasses, is basically what it is. And so it's like about getting, he has to get them all out of that to like show them what's actually happening, that they're all in some kind of danger for the episode. And it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, of that kind of community from there. But yeah, I just think it was another really, really strong episode. really, really enjoyed all the just the little character moments. Even what's her face, the main new girl. What was it again? Tina.
I just went off that.
Oh, okay, that's whatever the new little girl's name. Yeah, whatever. So I thought that like when she did her little like jump kick to swing into the bus, and like knock the door over, like I thought that was cool just because like that's what a kid would do. She's like, oh, I can do this, so I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? And then she looks impressive to the other kids and stuff. And then later she does like a little like a baseball slide or like a hockey slide like to nobody. And I like that element that like these kids feel like kids, and yet they're all written so intelligently that like the mystery doesn't have to be dumbed down so that kids can solve it. They're just smart enough kids that they can solve the problem that the show is giving them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like other shows that are about kids or something like that, it's like, oh, well, if they weren't a kid, they would understand they could just do this. And it's like, these kids understand everything that they can and can't do. It's just a matter of they cannot get home. And I like that it's so refreshing that you're not going, well, oh, this is so infuriating. Why aren't they just doing this? There is no like gap in this show of logic to, crack a hole in and be like, oh, none of this makes sense. It's just so well thought out. And I think that the writing is really great across all the characters. I love Jod's, getting down on his knees and just going, you know what? Just shoot me. It's like, you know what? I'm done.
Oh,
just
yeah. I thought
me.
that was funny,
that was so funny. He was like, you know what? This is the end for me. I love that moment. And I just think Jude Law continues to be fantastic in this show, as do all of the young performers and everybody else. We didn't get any of the parents this episode, but they've obviously been crushing it too. So I just think it delved the mystery deeper. It brought everything together in a more interesting way. It broadened the viewers' view of the show. It broadened the characters' view of their lives. Like it did so much in like 35 minutes with not so much with so little, but just so much with so much. It really made it count and feel like the runtime just didn't really affect it for me. So I was really, really happy with this episode. But again, I think if I have one complaint, it's just that maybe there wasn't as much to this episode as some of the other ones. But it's because it's a nice midpoint where you've earned a break to kind of stew with the characters. And that's exactly what this episode is. So on that level, I thought it was really, really great for what it was.
Yeah.
And I just think this show also just continues to look incredible.
Ending was terrible. Sorry. I just
what even happened at the end?
It just like the robot the droid was going to attack Neil. Yeah. And Jude Law came and unplugged it, and so the unpowered robot kind of fell like right above him, and he blacked out. And they were like trying to wake him up, and they were like, "Oh, he fainted." And then it just went to credits. It was like the most random. Like I was like, "Is it supposed to be like a cliffhanger or something?"
I feel like I remember it ending on just him like blacking out, but. Yeah. You must be right because obviously I think you watched it earlier than I did. And I watched it after a long shift at work, so I was like, I was kind of like out of it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna rewatch the episode for sure. But yeah, I mean that's happened in a couple of the Disney Plus Star Wars shows where like it just ends on a weird beat. You know what I mean? Where it's like what like literally if you had ended 5 seconds earlier. And it sounds like it's really just one of those where it's just like, why leave that in? No,
should have ended it when the droid was attacking him.
Yeah. Although
then you come back, Jude Law saved him,
I did love the moment though with Jude Law where he goes, nobody ever goes for the power switch. Like I did think that was funny, but maybe you just ended on that. Maybe you just ended on nobody ever goes for the power switch, or I think you just literally 5 seconds. I think he falls down on Neil, and then that's the end of the episode. Like that, you know what I mean? It's like, because then you're still going, oh my God, just leaving people with the, oh my God, what's going to happen next? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what's important for a show. And that's a really good example of where you're literally talking about the difference of 5 seconds can really color, your view of a show. All right. And it looks like, do you have anything else on Skeleton Crew?
No, that's it.
All right, perfect. Looks like we have another caller here before we get to our lists. So let's go ahead and bring on, if we can bring him in here, Shannon, who called in last week, is graciously calling us again. So let's go ahead and bring her in. Hello, can you hear us?
Hi, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to call in the most anticipated 2025 movie for Finley and Keegan, your nephews. They are very hyped
Louis, the
over.
movie?
No, they're very hyped over the live action How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're very excited for that. And I have to admit, after seeing the trailer for it, I when I heard it was happening, I was like, okay, sure. But I saw the trailer and I gotta say, it looks like it was really well done. Like it genuinely does. So we are very excited to see that. And do you want to say anything about How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to talk about the movie though. Okay.
Yeah. That is
Yep, that didn't work out very well, but
Wow,
I speak
100%.
for
I
them.
agree.
Yeah, that could have gone better. He can speak. I don't know what that was.
I've heard him
but
speak. I
yeah.
can vouch.
Yep, he totally can. So I don't know what that was. Maybe a like small stroke or something. But anyway, we are looking forward to that. And like I said, it looks like very compelling and worth a watch, which I really wasn't expecting much from the trailer.
And it does the dun 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 dun, and that's all you got to do, right?
Exactly. Finley, if you want to say something, you can, but you have to actually say something. And it can't be inappropriate because I have to look good. Okay, go ahead.
I love this show.
Thanks.
There you go. Look at that. We got one. The next generation of PFN mega fans.
Yeah. Can you say I love your show?
I love your show.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it from
Incredible.
both of them.
All right. Fantastic. We
Thanks,
might
guys.
be talking about that in a second. I will see you guys this weekend.
Yes.
Thank you guys for calling in, and give us a call when we're doing calls next time.
Sounds good. Bye.
Bye.
I'll tell you what, How to Train Your Dragon, I think I've said this before. That's
Yeah.
a franchise that escapes me. I've never seen any of them.
Same.
I know oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
I've never seen
I
any
just
of them.
assumed you'd seen them.
No. I just know that song.
Everybody says they're really good.
Yeah.
And I will agree with the trailer. I thought it looked really, really good. And
yeah,
that's the
putting myself in my own shoes, and I go, as not a fan of the other ones or with no attachment, I'm like, this kind of looks good. But also as a fan of The Lion King, I'm like, well, I understand the feeling. You know what I mean? I can understand the people that are like, what the hell's what's the point of this? So I really hope they do something different with it. It was like a 1:10 teaser. So it's always a chance that they just showed the stuff that is super faithful. And then maybe trailer 2 is going to be a bunch of new stuff. You know what I mean? Because I highly doubt that the movie's going to be shot for shot. I mean, if it is, that's kind of crazy.
I hope not.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. All right. So the thing that we were discussing, you and I, before the show, I think we're going to land on a happy medium here. So what we are going to do here is we are going to go crazy blitz style through a tier list that TJ found that has a good selection of movies. If there's something that we don't know, I guess we'll just skip it. But we're going to tier them out, make our combined tier list, and then we also have a list made on our letterbox. We're just going to read those out at the end and kind of see if our placements kind of match up. So maybe my number 2 on the list ends up higher on the tier list because it's your number 1 or something, you know. So that I think that could be pretty fun. So let's go ahead and jump over here. 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right. So we have 5 categories. It looks like here we have can't wait, excited, kind of interested, need more info, or not interested at all. All right. You want to just go in order from the very first one here?
Yeah, so we could start 28 years later. So I've never seen previous two movies. I didn't even know up to this point that it was very hard to find 28 days later. Like apparently
Yeah.
it's really hard to find digitally.
Yeah, it was like notoriously a movie that just like the rights were
up
bad.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just took that out from the library, so I'm gonna watch it at some point. So I'd put kind of interested for me 28 years later. You know, we can obviously agree to disagree wherever you want to put it. Where I haven't seen the first two, so I'm not really sure, but I'm interested enough to put it at kind of interesting.
I will say I've never seen the other two.
Okay.
First of all, let me actually do something.
Another few movies I wrongly assumed.
Let me see. There we go. That might be easier for my neck. I switched things so that I can just look at this tier list.
Oh, okay.
I will say that I am leaning towards excited only because that trailer is one of the best trailers that has come out all year. And I've watched that trailer like probably 5 times. So literally only on that merit, I feel like I would be okay bumping it into excited.
Okay. That's fine with me.
All right. I don't know what Animal
No
Friends
idea
is.
what Animal Friends is.
Not
Skip that one.
interested.
Not interested.
All right, we got a big one here. We got a heater, as they say. We got Avatar Fire and Blood, or Fire and Ash. Man, I'm going on straight to it. Can't wait.
I would agree with that. I was one of the doubters of Avatar 2 Way of Water. I said, do we really care about Avatar anymore? And boy, was I wrong. They did a great job with that second movie, and I'm excited for the third. I'm hoping it's just as good, if better, than the second one.
Let's go for that $3 billion.
Yep.
We can do it.
$3 billion.
A movie that is definitely going to make $3 billion. Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Where are you feeling on this one?
I'm gonna go excited.
Okay.
Just for the simple fact that it's not what's his name?
John Wick?
No, not that.
Are you gonna say Chad Stahelski?
It's Len Wiseman. Yeah, and it's not Chad Stahelski.
Yeah.
So I'm dubious, to say the least.
Real. I feel like based on what we have heard about the production, Len Wiseman, I would put it here. But we've heard who came in and did months of reshoots. And just for that reason alone, I'll put it in excited.
Okay. Fair
enough.
Yep.
Because I love Ana de Armas. She's fantastic. I'm looking at her right here on a movie poster right above my camera. Her alone in a John Wick style movie is not getting me like, oh my God, I can't wait. It has to have that Stahelski element of he understands how to make all this stuff work. You know what I mean? And so the fact that we originally weren't going to have that, but now it seems like maybe more Stahelski influence, I think it's fair to go excited. Black Phone 2. Any excitement on this at all?
I'm gonna say not interested. I'll say not interested for me. You saw the first one?
I did. I thought it was okay. I'm leaning need more info here.
Yeah. I wasn't
the
biggest fan, as I said, I was not a fan of this whole supernatural element. I really was hoping it was more of a grounded kind of story. And it wasn't, obviously. Yeah. So I'll concede need more info. I'm assuming, though, it's obviously going to take the supernatural route again, so I probably won't enjoy it that much. But
yeah, true. Next movie we are going to take out of the equation.
Yeah, I would say there's no way that's coming out next year.
Yeah, which is Blade, which is not even on the release calendar anymore. Next movie, no idea what that is.
Oh wait, hold on.
Bugonia?
I'm looking them up as I'm going.
Okay.
So this is Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons in a Yorgos movie.
Oh, okay. Sight unseen. I'm gonna go excited.
Do you want me to read the description for you from IMDb?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Just on those 3 names.
Yeah.
I am open to you having a different interpretation.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I didn't see. I really liked the last one, that Not Kinds of Kindness, the one before that. It's escaping my mind again.
Yeah. Didn't it win like Best Picture?
Not Best Picture, but
okay, but everything else.
Poor Things.
Yeah, that was what it was.
Really liked Poor Things. I didn't see Kinds of Kindness. I heard people either said that was like a complete mess, or whatever they said about it wasn't as good as Poor Things. But I'm willing to give Yorgos another shot. So I'll put that at excited. I will concede that.
Real. Yeah. I'm so glad you looked that up, because I was just gonna not even put it on there. Wow. All right. This one goes out to Shelly in the chat, and that is Captain America. How's that world order doing? It's new. Oh no, that's not even called that anymore. It's called Brave New World now.
Oh,
I forgot
Brave
it's
New
not
World.
called New World Order. Captain America, Brave New World.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I'm excited.
All right.
And hopeful.
I will say, as cool as these 3 concepts are,
Mhm.
I'm going to put it at the front of excited.
Okay.
Because this is a known quantity. If it hits, I know I'm going to love it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's at that level. If it doesn't hit, I at least had a new chapter with some characters that I really enjoy, some interesting stuff, and a Harrison Ford movie. So it's like, just on that level, I'm going to put it excited.
I agree with you on all those fronts.
Yeah. For me, I know this is going to be a big one for me. The Conjuring: The Last Rites. I'm feeling excited.
Real? Is that? Are you being serious, or are you joking?
No, I'm serious, man.
Wow.
I love the Conjuring movies.
Okay.
Do you remember The Devil Made Me Do It was on my top 10 of 2020?
Oh,
because like 40 movies came out that year,
mm-hmm.
and one of them was Conjuring 3, or one of them was Conjuring 3.
I'm not interested. I will. We can find a happy medium. How about kind of interested?
I'll even let you go. I'll let you go to maybe save some morale for maybe a later swing that I need.
Okay.
I'll even go to need more info.
All
we
right,
have no trailer. We have
that.
no anything. So, it's a possibility that, maybe it's fallen off. But this is the very last one. This is the last movie in the entire Conjuring
Any chance
universe.
they go out with a big bang and like all the demons gang up on Ed and Lorraine Warren in the final?
Oh my God. What if they make like in What If, the Strange Supreme?
Yep.
What if they all combine and it's
one
like a
big
nun?
super demon?
It's a nun, but she has the Annabelle pigtails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any interest in Downtown Abbey 3?
No.
Yeah,
never
I'm gonna
seen
say
the
no
show.
interest. Other than shout out Maggie Smith, most likely last film role of her career.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very sad, but yeah. Elio, Pixar.
Is that Pixar?
I'll say need. I'm on need more info.
Yeah.
Okay. F1.
I would put that at kind of interested.
I think that's a nice.
I'm intrigued.
Nice
Brad Pitt racing F1 cars. They've been filming that for a long time. Director
almost
of Top Gun
2.5
Maverick.
years.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very interested in that.
Yeah. Turned down a movie that I hope is on here. Yeah, it is. Turned down. Joseph Kosinski turned down a movie that I wish he was directing. To do that Formula One movie. So very interesting. Here we have another heater. Fantastic Four, The First Steps, Marvel's First Family. Where are we at?
That's Can't Wait. That's
I feel like that's Can't Wait.
No question.
And I feel like too that's fair to put it above Cap, because I think it is. I think it's it's a it's something brand new. It's something totally fresh to everybody. Super excited. Great cast also. Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
That is I would put it kind of interested. I thought the first one was pretty good. Shockingly pretty good.
I did not see the first one, and I will not see the second one.
All right. Well,
I'll give it to you.
I think it's worth trying out if you're ever bored.
If I'm a big Josh Hutcherson guy.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to look up what In the Gray is? And then the next one we are looking at is the How to Train Your Dragon reboot, which I feel like based on what we said before, I feel like at the very least we're kind of interested.
Mm. So in the wow, got some heavy hitters in these first 4 names.
Oh,
so in the gray, Guy Ritchie, Henry Cavill.
oh, is this the Tom Hardy one?
No.
Oh,
Henry Cavill, Jake Gyllenhaal, Rosamund Pike, Isaac Gonzalez.
wow.
Do you want me to read the description or no?
Sure, yeah.
Revolves around 2 extraction specialists who have to designate a route of escape for a senior female negotiator.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that sounds like a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yep, I'll put that at kind of interested.
Yeah, I'll go kind of interested.
I'm not the biggest Guy Ritchie person, so you know, if it's good, it's good. Did you see what was that one one he did? Yeah. Is that good?
Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good movie. I really, really like Guy Ritchie. I like most of his movies, but I will say I'll put it at just kind of interested because I feel like they're all a crapshoot. That's just me. But I usually end up liking them. But I'm like, you got to see the full movie to really win me over.
Yeah.
Let's see, Insidious 6.
Not interested. How many of those have you seen? I've only seen
none. I've seen none of them.
I think I've seen the first 2.
Okay, yeah. And we're on 6. Wow.
All right. Jurassic Park.
Or
Jurassic. Is it Jurassic Park or Jurassic World?
I think this was before they knew the title. So it's Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah.
So where are we putting Jurassic World Rebirth?
I need more info. I refuse to walk in any more Jurassic Park / Jurassic World movies without having more info on what is this consensus on if it's good or not.
Yeah, that's a really good point. See, I'm tempted to want to make an argument for kind of interested for the cast alone.
And the director.
But all of them.
Gareth Edwards.
Oh, I think we have to go kind of interested. I forgot about Gareth Edwards. I was already feeling it on ScarJo and like Jonathan Bailey and Mahershala Ali and stuff. Can we slap it at the end of kind of interested? It's Gareth Edwards.
I will concede just based on Rogue One. He's still carrying
no creator love
there. Creator was good. It just lacked. It was good visually. I think we both agree the story lacked a lot.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. There wasn't anything to it.
All right, we are gonna go some rapid style on these next few. Okay, so I'm gonna say.
Cry Kid.
One of us is gonna say the category first, and then the other one we'll see what we want to do. Let's go, Karate Kid.
Not interested.
I'll go need more info.
Okay, fine.
Let's see. Some of these ones down here. Smurfs
not interested.
Smurfs not interested.
Is
Katy Perry back? Is Katy Perry back? Zootopia 2.
I'm not interested. I've never seen the first one, so I couldn't tell you. But
I'll throw it in. I need more info.
Okay.
I like the first one, but it's been 10 years. What have you got cooking? The Bride, which is the Maggie Gyllenhaal, Christian Bale, The Bride of Frankenstein movie.
Need more info. Personally,
I was thinking not interested.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'll stick with that. I don't know. The Battle of Bacton Cross. That's the PTA DiCaprio movie.
Oh, kind of interested.
Yeah, I
don't know what the hell it's about.
The Bad Guys 2.
Not interested.
I'll go need more info. I like the first one. I thought it was a cute little movie.
He's throwing out need more info like they're candy.
All right, this guy's throwing out need more info like a candy. We got to make a t-shirt with that. I'll throw Blade on here just so we get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Megan
2.0.
Still the worst title choice. She should have found a way to work the 2 into the word Megan.
Yeah. I would put kind of interested.
I think I can agree.
I thought the first one was pretty good. Would you agree with that?
I'll put it above Jurassic just for you.
Okay.
I liked the first one. I thought First one was PG-13, and I think that it could work again with PG-13, but I just feel like you're really holding this franchise back by not keeping it rated R, but they made so much money by making it PG-13, I can't really argue. So I personally was like, oh, I would have loved an R-rated version of this where they can like really go crazy and Allison Williams can like really like ratchet it up here. But you know, I get it. Let's see here. Mortal Kombat 2. Where are we putting Mortal Kombat 2? We got Carl Urban coming in as Johnny Cage.
I would go not interested.
Hiroyuki Sanada?
That first one was just not good.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I gotta go need more info. For Carl Urban alone.
Carl, yeah.
That's like great casting.
All right.
Let's see. Now you three me.
I put need more info. I think I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
Not something I'm really running to
That's
see.
another one that's also been like 10 years. So it'd be interesting to circle back to these characters. Do you know what Mercy is?
Mercy.
I feel like I've heard of that.
Okay. We got Rebecca Ferguson, Chris Pratt, Callie Reese.
Whoa.
From True
Peter.
Detective.
Oh yeah, I know.
Annabelle Wallace. A detective is accused of a crime and is forced to prove his innocence.
This is Chris Pratt?
Yes.
I'm going to go kind of interested on that. That sounds like the kind of movie that Chris Pratt could be like really good in. Like that sounds like, now if it's like, I don't want to say this, but if it's like you know, yeah, I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
I will I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm for Rebecca Ferguson, I'd say alone.
Yeah, that's true as well. SpongeBob the movie.
Not interested.
Not interested. Nobody 2.
That is excited.
Yeah, I'll go excited.
Nobody 1 was really good.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I hope it's as good as the first one.
Can I get your thoughts on a Wolfman?
Wolfman. I'd say kind of interested. I'm not, as you know, I'm not the biggest horror guy. Like, here's the thing though. I struggle. I shouldn't say that. I like horror. It's just I don't like watching it in the theater. I'd much rather watch it at home. And so if I'm thinking ahead to when Wolfman comes to streaming or wherever it goes,
you'll enjoy it more then.
Is that gonna be the first thing I think of, like where I'm like, oh well, you know, when's Wolfman coming to streaming?
Yeah.
You know, where like Nosferatu, if I don't go see that, that's one where I'll be like, oh, I can't wait for it to come to whatever service it comes to at some point. So that's where I'd land. I'm kind of interested, I guess.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I'm interested for just the Lee Winnell of it. But sometimes Lee Winnell himself can be hit or miss.
Invisible Man was good.
That is true. So was Saw. Speaking of, Saw 11. Where you at?
Well, I haven't seen Saw X.
Top of can't wait.
So I'm gonna go kind of interested. Was Saw X good?
It was probably the best.
You said it was like
since 3.
Right, yeah. Okay, I do remember.
It's probably the best since 3.
Well, the goat was back, right?
The goat was back, absolutely, yeah. And this one is
too, right?
Yeah, this one is as well. Honestly, that's why it worked so well in 10 is because they realized that these movies are not about the games; these movies are about John Kramer.
Yeah,
and that's what really makes them work. And they really just went in on that in this movie. All right, Sinners. Which on this says
is this
Ryan
the
Coogler.
Vampire /
Yeah, so this is the Michael B. Jordan playing twins, vampires in the 1800s.
I would put it at excited.
Okay. I could go with you on that.
A lot of people. Wow, decent amount of people in this. Hey, I didn't know Haley Steinfeld was in it.
Yeah.
Okay. And the girl, I can't pronounce her name, but she's in Loki. She plays the, what's it called?
Ooh.
In Loki. What's her name?
Yeah, B-15. She's in
Yeah.
it too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for that too, for sure, for sure. I'm excited about the IMAX factor that it was shot for IMAX in
Mhm.
with IMAX cameras. Super excited for that. All right. Let's get into Snow White.
Not really interested.
Okay, yeah. Let's go. Not interested. Minecraft.
I'm kind of interested. I don't know.
Okay.
The trailer was
The first trailer was the worst trailer of the year. The second trailer was a lot better.
yeah.
Second trailer was definitely a lot better. Paddington in Peru.
That is an excited. My only hesitation. I feel like there had been reactions when I think it was screened like a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and it seemed like some of the reactions were not great.
Mixed.
And there's no Paul King.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah,
I forget
no,
who's
yeah.
directing it.
Yeah, not Paul King, which is unfortunate.
Because he's doing. What is he? Was it because
He
of
did
Wonka?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did Wonka instead. So the
It's,
guy who wrote
yeah.
or
Google
co-wrote the
Wilson.
other two. Yeah.
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 So hesitant.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Excited but hesitant.
Yeah, I'm being told by the chat that you're lying.
What do you mean?
That you can't wait for Paddington.
Is it
Unreal.
out? It's not out, right? There's like a bunch of reviews for it.
No, there's a bunch of reviews because it moved very late in the day. It's not coming out until like late February now.
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
It got pushed like 3 months, like a week ago. No,
Emily Mortimer is Miss Brown.
Yep. Yeah,
No,
Sally
Sally
Hawkins.
Hawkins. Yeah, what the hell? What happened?
I know. I don't know. Yeah, what the hell?
I like after watching Newsroom. I love Emily Mortimer. She's great. But Sally, I love.
Yeah, now you have the exact same thoughts as me. I was like, I love that. That's the choice. But I mean, geez, where the hell is she at?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. We got 8 absolute hitters left. I would say. Let's start with maybe the least hitter of them, which is Tron 3. Tron Ares.
That's what that is.
Yeah, Tron Ares.
I'll concede to you, whatever you want it, wherever you want to put it.
I'm gonna put this at excited. Okay, I teed up my Joseph Kaczynski thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing F1 instead of this. That being said, based on the some of the filming that we've seen, some of the stuff coming out of D23 that we've seen, I could be excited for it. And the Jared Leto factor is a factor, but I'm looking at a poster here for one of my favorite movies. Again, a different Ana de Armas movie, Blade Runner 2049, that he is a massive part in. And I thought he was good in that movie. Mm-hmm. And so it didn't bug me as much. So if he can deliver a good performance, I cannot be as bothered by Jared Leto in a movie. You know what I mean? As long as the performance is good and it feels, like it's right. All right, let's go next to
just real quick saying on that. Yeah. Tron Legacy, I was not a fan of, as I've said, but I did not realize. Again, I knew there were some big people in this movie, but you got Jodie Turner-Smith, Jeff Bridges, Gillian Anderson, Evan Peters, Jared Leto, Cameron Monaghan, Greta Lee. Like, that's a lot of people. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna say I'm kind of interested, but I'm
cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic. There you go. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of caution, we have Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. So we have Knives Out 3. Huge cast on this one. Josh O'Connor, Kaylee Spaney, tons and tons of people. Josh Brolin. Where are we at with this one? I feel like I'm actually going for a can't wait for this one.
Really?
No, I could be excited.
Yeah,
I could do excited.
I would probably go excited. It's just because, like, I didn't think the Glass Onion
was as good
as Knives Out.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he's kind of assembling like these master casts. So who knows?
I think it's interesting, but yeah, I can agree that we could go excited. Let's do Michael, the hugely anticipated Michael Jackson biopic. Yep. It's finally coming out next year. Where are we at with this? I feel like I'm on. Well, what do you want?
I'm excited.
Okay. I could go on that with you.
Yeah. Miles Teller, Coleman Domingo,
Yeah.
Antoine Fuqua,
Jafar Jackson, right?
Jafar Jackson is Michael.
Yeah.
You know, now what's it gonna go into? You know, is it gonna just kind of wipe away any bad thing that might have been spewed at any one point or another? We'll see where that goes, but I will say I am excited for this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I'm excited on all the fronts that you just said. Most particularly, what is it all going to go into? All right, Mickey 17. We have next.
So I'm at a kind of interested. I think I've fallen ever since I didn't know what the movie was about, and watching the trailer, I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
How lucky could one guy be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'll go kind of excited as well. I feel like the release date shuffling didn't give me such confidence, but I feel like greater minds prevailed on that by giving it to us now in I think it's late April now instead of like the very beginning of January, which is never a good sign for a movie. So yeah, I would say I'm excited for that. All right, let's go these last four here. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do next?
Let's go.
You pick the last
Reckoning.
Final Reckoning. That's
So
a
that's
heater.
a
That's
can't wait
that's
for me.
that's a can't wait. That's
Yeah.
a can't wait.
Hopefully this movie is treated well, better than the previous one, just because it was consumed by Oppenheimer, basically.
Yeah.
So hopefully this makes a lot of money, and hopefully it doesn't, come out right at the same time as some other movie that does, just overtakes it.
Right before it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the good news is the only movie that's going to do that is the movie that comes out 2 weeks before it, and that is the Thunderbolts. Where are you at with Thunderbolts?
I'd
I'll tell you where I'm at with that.
say I'm kind of interested.
What?
I'm more excited for the other two. Oh, he had to dip out. I caused him to short circuit. He had to dip out.
Man, no way. No way.
Hey, that wasn't not interested.
Man, that's a can't wait.
Man,
that trailer is so good. That second trailer.
Maybe I don't even think I watched the trailers, so that might be where I'm missing.
What? I gotta at least go excited on that.
All right, I'll agree at excited. I'll agree at that. Superman.
All right, next two
wait.
heaters. Superman. Yeah, absolutely
Easy.
cannot wait. Wicked.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Absolutely. 100%. All right, so that is our kind of combined tier, very, very quick tier listing here of a bunch of movies coming out in 2025. So you can take a look at all of them there. And awesome. So yeah. So next up, we are going to go ahead and just read through real quick. We're not going to do a whole, oh, we somehow have flipped.
Oh,
there we go. We're not going to do a whole, countdown and punting and everything like that. We're just going to run straight through our top 10 most anticipated stuff. So TJ, I'm going to let you go first on this one. Or do you want to do just straight through each, or do you want to do just trading one back and forth?
I'll just go. We can just go straight through.
Yeah.
I actually have one on my list that wasn't on there that I was gonna say we can add, but I forgot. But let me read this, and you'll see which one was on the list.
Mm-hmm.
So honorable mention, we had Nobody 2. 10 was F1, 9 Ballerina, 8 Michael, 7 Avatar Fire and Ash, which is a cool name reading it.
Mm-hmm.
6 is The Final Reckoning. 5 is Brave New World. 4, The Smashing Machine with The Rock.
Oh,
which, assuming it comes out next year, I don't know if that's like
good
confirmed.
call.
Really excited with that, with
Yeah.
Benny Safdie as the director.
Yeah, that would be an honorable for me for sure.
3 Wicked Part 2, 2 Fantastic Four, 1 Superman.
Oh my God, hang on.
Man, I hope that movie's good. That could be like The Rock's like big comeback right there. I mean, he's not really gone. It was just like, at this point, he's kind of just in movies and he's not really, Did you watch Red One? Red One?
No, I did not. Did you?
Okay. No, I did not.
Okay.
Which again, I kept thinking it was a Netflix movie for some reason, but it was Prime. I guess.
It's because it was always Prime, but I mean, it just is a Netflix movie. That's why. All right. Hold up here, because I gotta. Man, that is hard. Can you give me your run me through your top 5 again, would you?
Yep, top 5 is Brave New World, Smashing Machine, Wicked Part 2, Fantastic Four, and Superman.
Yeah, this is tough. This is tough. Okay. Oh my God, I am a crazy person for what I just did, but I had to lock it in. Okay. My 2 real honorable mentions here would be Ballerina and Mickey 17. Would be like my 12 and 11. Then unlike you, I'm a sucker for it. If it's good, I'll like it. My number 10 is Jurassic World Rebirth. So right. if they can get it good, if it's fun, if it's interesting, then I'm there. Number 9 is going to be Tron Ares. I wish it was higher on the list, but I had to represent it here. Number 8 is a movie that you didn't have, which is Predator Badlands. So that's the new Predator movie with Elle Fanning coming out for Dan Trachtenberg. So really excited for that. Then number 7 is going to be Brave New World for me. It's going to be number 7. Then number 6 is going to be Thunderbolts. Again, a movie I am very, very hyped for. Honestly, this list would honestly be more interesting if I could wipe out my top 5 and my number 1 would be Thunderbolts, because other than my top 5, which are just my gold peak locked in stuff that I'm just so excited for, Thunderbolts, even though it's my 6, I am really, really excited for that movie. And this is going to even pain me to say, but it's just so fresh. I feel like I have to be fair to the things I've been looking forward to. So I'm going to say my number 5 is Wicked Part 2, or Wicked for Good is my number 5. Number 4 is going to be Avatar 3, Fire and Ash. Number 3 is going to be Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. And then my number 2 is going to be Superman. And my number 1 is going to be Fantastic Four. I'm super, super hyped for Superman. But again, that energy of the possibilities that's like rumbling with Superman, I feel that not more so, but I feel that just as much with Fantastic Four. I think it's just going to be really something interesting and something that we're really going to love.
One other honorable mention that I wanted to bring up. How do I share my screen? Is it present?
Yep.
Okay, and then just share screen, I guess.
Yeah, let me remove mine.
The Electric State.
No
that
way.
Was one that I was hesitant on it. It's just images like this that get me interested. Like, what the hell is going? It seems very sci-fi-esque.
Yeah, the vibe is very interesting.
Yeah. Now it's the Russo brothers, and they have not had a very good track record outside.
And this is just going to Netflix, not theaters.
I think. Let's see what the poster says. I think the poster says it. Only on Netflix, March 14th. Yeah. So
it's like, if I could see this in a theater and it was all the, all of this money that they put in and on screen and stuff, but it's like, I can barely see that. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to watch it in a big movie theater, but I think it'll be interesting at the very least. At the very least, it'll be interesting. If we were throwing that on the tier list, I would put it in like a, whatever the one below excited was. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm interested, for sure. But yeah,
how can you not be interested in Woody Harrelson as the voice of Mr. Peanut?
I am very interested in Woody Harrelson as the voice of Mr. Peanut. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm excited for Electric State. I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it, but compared to some of the other things like Rebel Moon, I just never watched. There wasn't interested. I didn't even watch Rebel Ridge yet.
Oh, neither have I.
Yeah, but and everybody says that's so good. But all right, so that will do it for our quick list for what we are most anticipated for. Now, I will say this. We still have to figure out what we are doing holiday schedule wise, considering the 25th and the 1st are both Wednesdays. But we, at the very least, we are going to try and reschedule our days to try and get a show out each of those weeks. But I know me personally, I'm going to be working a lot of nights going into this holiday week. So we will, at the very least, be back with you in the beginning of January with 1 week is going to be our top 10 TV shows of 2024. And then one of the weeks is going to be our top 10 movies of 2024. We are eyeing up to hopefully get two friends to join us on one of those shows. So until then, like I said, I was just on Settle the Score with Matt Nost and Andy Merriweather. Check that out on YouTube. Just search music game show Settle the Score and it'll pop right up. That episode will be out later this week. I want to thank you guys so much again for joining us, everybody who called in. We got 2 calls last week, 3 calls this week, so hopefully maybe next week we'll get 4. Really appreciate everybody sticking around for the whole stream. And yeah, let us know if you guys want to comment on this video, let us know what question you guys want to answer next time on the calls. But other than that, that will do it for me. I have been one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
I've been your host, TJ Cornwell. Thank you for watching. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the podcast feeds, wherever you get your podcasts. We will see you next time.
Boom.